Wake up. Not the kind of waking where eyes blink into morning light and limbs stretch toward a new day. No. Wake up. Snap open the soul. Peel back the comfort. Tear down the illusions that wrap around mediocrity like velvet chains. Because here's the truth. If the work feels too heavy, then the reward is not meant for weak hands. Run from the grind, and don't bother chasing the gold. Hide from the pain, and success will never bother learning your name. Money, success, progress. All of them are earned in blood and built on broken ego. These things do not fall like rain. They must be dragged from the storm. And most will never taste them. Not because they lacked time, not because they lacked opportunity, but because they lacked the will to bleed for it. Most will never know the feeling of waking up and knowing they earned something no one could give them. Most will never know the kind of pride that burns quietly behind the eyes, not loud and boastful, but silent, unshakable, forged in sacrifice. They say they want the crown, but flinch at the weight. They say they want freedom, but fold under pressure. Are you different? That's not a rhetorical question. Answer it with action. Answer it in the way you move when nobody's watching. Because if you're not different, then life will treat you like everyone else. Disposable, replaceable, invisible. This world bows to those who rise when it's easier to sleep. The world follows those who lead themselves through hell. Understand this. Nothing changes until something within is burned away. Comfort, doubt, ego, weakness. Sacrifice is not a punishment. It is a rite of passage, and most will never pass through it. They will taste just enough comfort to numb their hunger, and just enough success to avoid questioning their stagnation. They will drown slowly in a pool of almosts and maybes and, I'll get to it. But those who are awake, truly awake, they see the world not as it is, but as it could be, if only they were willing to give everything. Not just time, not just effort, not just trying, everything. Because the gate to greatness doesn't ask for your best attempt. It demands your transformation. It doesn't open for intentions. It opens for evolution. So look around. Really look. Every voice that told you to stay safe, every hand that patted your back and said, it's okay to slow down. Those are the voices of the average. They love you maybe, but they do not serve your destiny. Greatness is not inherited. It is carved, with sweat, with madness, with relentless clarity. And it's lonely. Oh, it's lonely. Because the path to becoming is not crowded. It's dark. It's quiet. It's full of echoes and doubt and silence that bites. But in that silence, something grows. Something powerful. Something pure. A hunger. A vision. A voice that whispers, keep going. Because you must keep going. You must keep pushing even when you feel hollow and uncertain and lost in the fog. You must become the fire when the world grows cold. You must rise without applause, and most won't. Most will never know that war. Most will never stare into the mirror and see the enemy and the answer staring back. Most will never taste the divine bitterness of transformation. But you can be different. You can become, if you are willing to pay the price. This is the truth no one tells you. The reward is real. The glory is real. The life you want is real. But so is the pain. So is the grind. So is the cost. And the cost is everything. So ask again, are you different? Because only those who are will ever know. So you said you were different. Good, now prove it. Because the path ahead does not accept empty declarations. It demands a toll. And that toll is you. Not the version of you that's comfortable. Not the version that coasts. No. The real price of progress is the person you used to be. There is no evolution without execution. The execution of excuses, of softness, of every part of you that thinks survival is good enough. Whatever you want, it already exists. But to reach it, you must die in pieces, bit by bit, layer by layer. You'll bury the laziness. You'll bury the victimhood. You'll bury the part of you that breaks under pressure, cries out for mercy when life tightens its grip. Because there's no mercy here. Not for the weak. Not for the entitled. This isn't some fairy tale where belief alone delivers miracles. Belief is just the match. It's what you burn that makes it a fire. And it will burn. Let it. That's how the forge works. Pressure, heat, destruction, rebirth. The old must die so the unstoppable can rise. You don't get stronger by doing what you've always done. You get stronger when you bleed for something beyond yourself. When you suffer on purpose. Growth doesn't come from success. It comes from survival. From setbacks that should have broken you. From days that tried to drown you in doubt. From moments where everything in you screamed stop. But you moved anyway. And in that movement, you evolved. Not all at once. But every time you refused to quit, you killed a weakness. Every time you showed up with no energy, no applause, no guarantee, it was a small funeral for the old you. And a silent coronation for the warrior you're becoming. You want freedom, earn it. You want pride, build it with your bare hands. Pride is not bought. It is not gifted. It is forged. The world will offer you distractions, shortcuts, illusions of progress that require no pain. But understand this. Easy roads lead to invisible graves. Graves of dreams that never breathed. Graves of potential never touched. Graves of greatness never realized. Because the easy way avoids death. And without death, there is no becoming. Understand the truth of the process. You are the clay and the flame. The sculptor and the sacrifice. The builder and what must be buried. There is no way around it. Only through. Only inward. So stop asking when it gets easier. Start asking when you get harder. When you stop flinching. When you start hunting discomfort like it owes you something. Because it does. Because it's the only place your higher self lives. And listen closely. That voice you hear when you're alone, the one that says, "You were made for more," it's not lying. But it will go silent if you keep betraying it. It's not enough to want. Everyone wants. Wanting is cheap. What are you willing to give? What are you willing to lose so that you can become who you must be? This is the real work. Not just action, transformation. Not just effort, evolution. And evolution hurts. It demands everything that no longer serves you. So give it. Give the fear. Give the hesitation. Give the smallness. Let them burn. Because every great thing you desire is on the other side of your own destruction. And the phoenix only rises after the fire. Everything you want is locked behind a version of yourself that doesn't exist yet. And the key? It isn't luck. It isn't timing. It's transformation. Mental, brutal, unforgiving transformation. This life? It's a video game with no pause button, no cheat codes, and no save slots. Every day, you're either leveling up or sinking into the same pit, wearing a different mask. And most are stuck on level 1. Not because they lack the strength to move forward, but because they never learned how to think. They play with the same mindset and wonder why the game won't change. They ask for a better outcome while recycling the same broken inputs. They pray for progress, but protect the mental blocks that keep them small. Listen carefully. If the mind stays average, the life will too. Every time. It's not about motivation. That fades. Not about inspiration. That's seasonal. This is about mental architecture. The cold, hard structure that holds your thoughts, your beliefs, your standards in place. And if that structure is weak, if your mind folds under doubt, drowns in distraction, chokes on failure, then no skill, no strategy, no vision will save you. Because here's the law, no one escapes. The mind is the first battlefield. Win there, and everything else bows. Lose there, and nothing stands. So what does leveling up look like? It looks like this. Doubt rises, you stare it down. Fear creeps in, you keep moving anyway. No clarity, you act and let action carve the path. No one believes in you, you become the proof. That's mindset, not theory, not hype, discipline. And when the resistance shows up, because it always does, you don't ask why. You expect it, you welcome it, you recognize it as the final boss before the next level. That pressure, that chaos, it's not there to break you. It's there to test your mental weight, to ask you, have you earned the right to rise? Most will run from that question. Most will shrink, back down, numb out, settle in. Because truth burns. Because growth hurts. But you, if you are serious, you do not retreat. You adapt. You sharpen the blade of your mind until fear can no longer hold it back. Confidence isn't found. It's built. In silence. In solitude. In struggle. Every time you push when you don't feel like it, mental XP. Every time you finish what you start, mental XP. Every time you show up when no one claps, mental XP. And eventually your mind becomes a fortress. Not perfect, not invincible, but unshakable. Because you know the truth. The world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you believe you deserve. And your beliefs are built in the furnace of repetition. So level up. Not by chasing shortcuts, but by rewiring your inner world. Raise your standards. Harden your mind. Sharpen your focus. You're not here to survive. You're here to ascend. But there's no elevator. Only stairs. And every step demands another layer of weakness be left behind. Understand this. The enemy is not time, not circumstances, not other people. The enemy is the version of you that accepts less. The one who hesitates, the one who makes excuses, the one who says tomorrow and never shows up. And the only way to kill that version is to outgrow it. Not with words, with war, mental war. You want to rise? Then build the mind of a ruler, of a warrior, of someone who does not flinch when the pressure rises, but leans in. Because this is the path. And the next level? It's not just waiting. It's watching. And it won't open until you prove you belong there. So here we are. The moment of reckoning. You've asked for it all. The glory. The success. The pride. The life you've always wanted. But let me make one thing crystal clear. None of it comes without a price. It doesn't come because you wish for it. It doesn't come because you hope for it. It comes because you pay for it. With everything you have. And I mean everything. Are you ready for that? Because most will say they are. Most will talk about it, day in and day out. They'll fantasize about the rewards, the recognition, the life they've dreamed of. But when it comes time to put in the real work, when it comes time to lay down everything, they run. They tell themselves it's too much, too hard, too risky, too painful, and they shrink back into the comfort of almost and maybe next time. But you are different, right? At least you told yourself you were. You are prepared to give everything, aren't you? This life isn't a test of willpower. It's a test of sacrifice. Not the kind of sacrifice that's easy. Not the kind that looks good on a motivational poster. No. This is the sacrifice that strips you down to the bone and asks, what are you willing to lose to become who you were meant to be? Because, listen, if you're not willing to give everything, then you'll never know the feeling of earning anything. Not real success, not real greatness. You'll just wander the same roads that lead nowhere, drowning in what-ifs and regrets. But the warriors, the ones who make it, they know this. They know that you can't rise without a full commitment. You can't stand tall without bending low. You can't walk into the light without first stepping through the darkness. And the darkness, it's relentless, it's harsh, it's suffocating. But it's also where you find out who you really are. This is the cost. This is what it will take. Everything. So ask yourself right now, are you willing to give the hours others waste? Are you willing to bleed for your dreams while others sleep? Are you willing to give up your comfort, your distractions, your excuses? Are you willing to face the fear that keeps you up at night and tell it, not today, not ever again? Because if you are, then something will shift in you. Something will crack open, and in that crack, the fire will pour out. A fire that will burn the hesitation. A fire that will burn the weakness. A fire that will burn the what-ifs and could-have-beens. But it will take, it will take everything. Your energy, your focus, your time, your sanity, your pride, your ego. Everything that stands between the person you are right now and the one who will claim victory on the other side of this journey. You cannot skip the struggle. You cannot sidestep the pain. You cannot hope for an easy way out. You must earn it. And when the work is finished, when you've paid the price, when you've left everything you've had in the field, you will know. You will know the feeling of standing on the mountaintop, breathless, bleeding, victorious, and seeing the world unfold beneath you. You will know what it means to be self-made, not because you were lucky, not because you were given anything, but because you fought for every inch of your existence. And the pride, it won't be hollow, it will be deep, it will be earned. So make this promise to yourself, right now. I will give everything I have. Not just what's easy, not just what's convenient, but everything. Every ounce of strength, every moment of focus, every bit of heart. Because if you truly want this life, if you truly want to be the person who walks through fire and comes out unburned, then the price is steep. But it is worth it. Are you prepared to give everything you have? Are you prepared to pay the price? Because this is where the journey truly begins, and it will take everything. And when you finally make it to the other side, you won't just be different. You'll be everything you've ever wanted to be. This is the end of the road, the beginning of the war. Now, go. Become.